Welcome to No Shame, episode 37, here at the Lima Powered Studio at SBG Dublin 24. I have the OG, the first and the original gangster of journalism.
Big hype.
MMA journalism.
Oh,
MMA journalism.
invented
So you, we basically invented it, yeah. It was just me on my own, and then I showed everyone else.
That's it, yeah. This is copying me, man. This Helwani fella. Don't know where he came from.
Yeah. Who's that?
Never heard of him.
Oh, no. I heard of Petesy Carroll, though. So, Petesy Carroll, Petesy is being, as you were just saying there, you were at, your first show was...
I was at, my first show was Paddy Holohan was headlining the card, and I'll never forget this.
The fight before Christmas.
Barry Oglesby.
What a name for a card. Someone should keep that.
Remember, he used to have great names for cards, man. Remember, he had Under Siege 3, and there was no Under Siege 1 or 2. He just called it Under Siege 3 because there was 2 films.
That's a savage...
That was deadly, man.
That's a savage name.
And I remember you, because you obviously didn't have the beard at the time. You were fighting the main event.
I looked like a plucked chicken. We said this last week.
Yeah.
I went from my plucked chicken stage to my Viking manly stage.
I know, man. It was. I remember it was you, right? Because I didn't know what I was doing, and I took a lend of me friend Johnny's camera, because he just had a daughter, so he got a nice camera, so he'd be able to take pictures of it or whatever. So I was like, oh yeah, give us a lend your camera, blah blah blah. I didn't know what I was doing. I was brought by a local coach, Lou Corcoran, at the time from Blanchardstown, and he brought me.
Do you know why he added me on Facebook yesterday?
He's an actor now.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Is he?
Yeah, he's doing shows and all, yeah.
That was some shit though.
I know, that's it. He just throws that in now. He can do his own stunts.
Is he?
Yeah.
No way.
And Adam sure is training in SPG now. He's a beast. Yeah.
Adam's an animal, he is.
Savage.
Judo. And you know what? Good person.
Yeah, he's a lovely fella.
Lovely
fella.
He's
like lovely, solid
And he's a ginger.
Yeah.
He's one of us.
Fighting for the cause.
He's one of us.
But he said, I remember going backstage with that camera, and I didn't realise I wasn't meant to be backstage.
That show?
Oh, my guys are courting, and lads just beating the shit out of each other and getting their hands wrapped.
There was guys next to a corner, like here, BAM! Hitting pads. You know what? I fucking hope not fighting him.
The show was behind the curtain, really.
Oh, yeah. It was like you're behind it. Like, you know, in school when you have like the stage.
Yeah.
And there's like that big curtain. That's all it was between you and a fire and the crowd and the ring and everything else. And here's another thing. Do you remember what the weather was like that night?
I did. It was Ireland. It was torrential, I assume.
Wow. Barty had to dig out. It was like the snow that we had. Do you remember?
No way. No, I can't remember.
Because what happened?
I was wearing a hat. And I had a beard.
I was wearing a hat.
Yeah.
You had your blue jumper on, Dougal, didn't you?
Was it,
sister or something. That's hard to say.
That's exactly it, man.
All right. It was really badly snowing because at the time my son's mother was on holidays and I was minding me over and I got stuck in the house. So I was fighting and I was 2 weeks in the house before that. I remember lighting the fire every day, doing push-ups in front of it, sit-ups in front of it. Yeah. And my uncle was only small, he was at the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Drinking his milk and all of that.
It must have been 2 or 3 at the time, was he?
James probably,
Yeah.
At that age, he was young at that age. So that's how I remember it, but the snow was bad. No, anyway.
I can remember coming in and you were getting your hands wrapped, and I didn't know how close you're meant to be to fighters at this stage, man. But he's trying to get in the zone. There's me with this little Fisher Price camera up to us. And he's like, "Get the fuck out!" So that was me. I was like, "Not you, no." About 5 lads from SPG. Right. I could have taken them by the side.
Decided to leave.
Yeah, and that was it. That was the first day, and then just kind of snowballed from there because the next.
Photos?
John probably has them still, man. I'd say he still has them. John Mulholland, yeah. I can get them for you.
Try get them.
Yeah, I will.
Here's another cracking miles off the situation, right? We had the guy, I had Napoleon on from the Outlaws.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I saw that one.
And he said that Tupac before he died, got 2 cameras, disposable cameras, and took loads of pictures of all of them, right? And when he said it, I was like, all right, yeah, sound. And it was only that when I went home and I realised, where the fuck are them photos?
That's mental. So he bought 2 cameras just to take
Tupac did before he died, 2 weeks before it, and took loads of photographs of everybody. He said that we need to make sure we remember everybody, you know. That's what Napoleon was telling us there on the couch, like. And that Tupac took loads of pictures.
There was a lot in that episode, though, man. That was
deep, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was so excited.
Yeah, I could see, like, yeah, it's rare to see you getting very... Yeah.
No, but the thing was about that, I was like, where are them photos? Where are the photos that he took?
That's mad, yeah.
Isn't it? So kind of like the photos of Petesy taking them of me. Where are the photos,
yeah.
Petesy?
I wonder who else. Like you told me Joey Breslin's on the card. I can't remember who else was on the card.
So Joey Breslin is the jiu-jitsu coach here as well, with myself and a few others and all. But Joey
Savage.
Brown belt jiu-jitsu, encyclopedia. Probably doing it for as long as me. I think probably as long as me.
Yeah, he was already established teenager.
Savage, great guy. Now, Joey's but Joey won by an omoplata. on that night
Mad.
in MMA.
See, I was so new to it that I think I was looking around. Do you know what I mean?
You were still in the buzz.
What the hell is this? And Conor was there. And because my brother used to train with you guys, used to do jiu-jitsu, your class in Longmore. And he was sitting there and I was like, this baldy fella there with the, do you remember them G-Star things with all the pockets on them and all?
Was that my...
No, this was McGregor watching you.
Oh,
so he was like shouting and all. I was getting tick because you sit beside me. I was going, fuck's sake, Luke, who the fuck is this fella? And he was like, shut your mouth.
Let's be quiet.
Yeah.
You know?
So that was the end of that.
Pizza getting fucked up.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah. Bringing outside, bury him in the snow. That's what it would have been. That would have been no pizza.
Oh my God, yeah.
Imagine that.
But that's how we met all these. After the yoke, I got into the cage to take a picture of you with the whole team. Then afterwards, you're like, who are you? And then I got talking to you. Then I added you all on Facebook, and you were always just dead on with me. Always gave me the scoops.
What I used to always say is because I could notice you most everyone else, and some people I didn't like, to be honest. And
really?
Not for reasons, but look, I remember some girl coming up to me after the Dublin after weighing in, right? And I wasn't even allowed to take water before the interview for some weird reason.
That's
off
ridiculous.
the stage into an interview, and then she runs up to me and she starts asking me these stupid questions and all about. Now it wasn't even about it. She was asking me actually about what was thinking about the main event of Conor's doing in I think it was 3 months or something after that. And I said like, fuck off, missus, will you? And your woman Vicky out of the UFC, which Vicky is always another staff member that will always say like, do you know what, highest respect for. Grabbed the woman out of the way and gave me a bottle of water. Like, that's what.
And she was never seen again. Vicky took her off, put a cap on her.
Oh, she was dead. She was dead. A cooker pushed off the place she was. Tied to her ankles. No, but she was you need people like that.
Yeah.
And there's a fire on the other side. People remember that as well.
Yeah.
So one of the main reasons I wanted to get you in here was because even though fighters grind and do whatever, and some do, and actually some these days some don't.
That's it.
But you were on the grind. As a journalist, you've done the ups, the downs, and then you ended in the situation where you exactly where you wanted to be. But there was a time when you were going back and say we're going through like as you start. That one, say Cage Contender and all coming in. You remember that coming in as well?
Yeah, no, Cage Contender was kind of going already. Like, I remember I was at Chris Fields' fight when he won it the first time, the middleweight title. I can't remember who he fought.
John Redmond.
Not the first one, no. Because he defended for the first time against Redmond, and they nearly had an interim thing in the meantime. Remember with John Michael Shield and Redmond? They fought each other because Chris was injured. But he won I think it was Cage Contender 5. He won that. Now, I wasn't making any money. I didn't make money for about 10 years, basically. You know what I mean?
Nobody was making money. Do you know who was making money? The people putting the shows on.
John Ferguson.
The people watching the cards. That's the only people making it.
John Ferguson got so many shout-outs in this show. It's unbelievable, man.
He texted me the other day. There you go. My man. You owe me a dinner.
Yeah, big time, man.
Or some of them vouchers for that 5-star.
Yeah.
We'll take either.
But that was it. The case.
John was actually, look, I never had a problem with John.
Yeah, neither did I.
He owed me money once, but he came through, John, didn't you?
Yeah, no, well done.
Did he pay you?
I didn't work for him, so I was just kind of floating around.
Like, I worked, I just didn't get paid.
Yeah.
That was it.
Do you remember that? There was ructions about that as well.
Ructions. That was another a history.
That was mad. But yeah, I knew it was going to be big when Cage Contender was kicking off.
So did I. That's
when I went to see... You weren't actually fighting at the first Cage Contender I went to in the National Basketball Arena.
I broke my arm, I think, on that one.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to fight...
I saw you fight Satankoff in Belfast though, and I did see.
No, that was it. That was in Dublin.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
I fought Damien Rooney in Belfast.
Saw that as well. Yeah.
King's Hall.
But when you could see, like, so basically, we've been watching like Pride. My brother used to get the Pride events burned onto a disc. We had this 1980s PC in Blanche.
Yeah.
And about 50 lads would come back in the lunch break. We wouldn't go back in after lunch. We just watch the whole Pride thing. Then everyone get out of the gaff before my man and dad came home. But that was what we used to do. And then in Ireland, I'd bring this up to everyone and nobody'd know what we were talking about, blah, blah, blah. But then when I was in them shows and you can see maybe 2,000 people all in the same room going mental, like, all right, this can take off. Because I knew boxing events weren't doing that much.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Like,
so,
and at the moment, we were like, I knew at the time we were just kids, like, in a way, but I knew that I was like, I know Ireland, right? And I know the way I was referencing was to like the 94 World Cup, the 99 World. When Irish people guess
you could see it coming.
It goes on fire, and I could see like the kind of the Ricky Hatton situation that happened like not long before that, when Ricky Hatton had like Man City fans and had like that big huge crowd. And I was like, to be part of something like that is incredible, and everybody, as he said, that put it in, done well at that time.
Well, I mean, it's that particular group of fighters, like, and everyone thinks I'm such a negative person for saying this, but there was something very special happened there. Like, and you don't like to fully admit this, I know, because it's putting a lot on you guys. But that group of fighters, that time, we'll never. I honestly, like, hand on heart, don't think we'll ever see it again. Never have the country that enraptured with the movement. Like, I can remember you walking down Hardcore Street, and you didn't even see me. You would just to get out after that first Dublin fight when you bet Sampo. It was that mental. We were all in Lily's after, I believe. And I don't know how I ended up on Hardcore Street. Didn't drink at all, of course. Just don't remember how I got there. But Paddy was walking down the road, and people were chasing him out of the nightclubs, and he was just trying to be like, listen, just give me 2 minutes. He's doing all the pictures and all, but they were just mobbing him.
I've never experienced that like that in my life.
I was looking at him. I was looking at him going like, look at this. He can't walk down the road. Like, he was the opening fight on the card, and he can't walk down the road.
That was a mad.
Do you know what I mean? I was like, this is mental, you know. And just little things like, of course, Conor was mad fanfare as well. But to see, like, when the opening guy in the card covets that much attention out of the general public, you know something special is going on. It's like something crazy.
What I said, and I think this is a huge example of, or a huge kind of explanation of why it happened. I think a lot of the communities were affected at the same time, where we all kind of came from different communities. When you look at it, like Ash was female, Chris was a big tall from the Brack, you know what I mean? And like, then you have like Cottle was
the private school played rugby,
private school played rugby. You had me coming straight over like a council estate, typical like bad posture council, you over there, can't say words correctly, you know what I mean? Not proper stuff. And then the idea of Conor being
just Conor this enigma nearly. What is he like?
Conor kind of had that like that crumbling style to him, if you must, you know what I mean? Like where it was like that's like a council area, but it had its own little twang. And everybody I think infected. And what people did was, it was like when you put like say Power Rangers in front of people. Everyone has a different flavour. That they link themselves with in a way, you know. And I think that's what happened. And it would have been like that created a big infection through the country. Like we had when you hear this story, right? This morning, right? Some guy.
This morning?
Yeah.
Today?
Bangs me door down, right? I had around my kitchen this morning, Petesy, right? Some gas man comes in, right? And
not a funny man, just an actual gas man.
Like he was giving. No, it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. An actual gas man. And we didn't even know the heat was bleeding broken, right? So he knocks on the door and he's like, I'm here to fix your heat. And I'm like, what's the address you have? And he's like, 123. Right? And my door's 123. Would you believe that?
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought he was taking the piss out.
They put the stupid people in that house to so you remember. What do you do? 1, 2, 3. That was it. Right, you know where to take him. Yeah. But anyway, he comes into the house this morning and he's fixing this thermostat thing, right? Or this little box thing that
don't have to get technical with me, Paddy. I don't have a clue.
So I walks upstairs and I goes to it, and then it comes back down, and then there's a box in the hall, right? A little hall in the wall. And I goes, what's that? He goes, I don't mind that. I was like, oh, we'll mind that, mate. It's my hall, right? And then he's like, I'm going to give you a free box, right? And it's a better box it is. And it's one that goes on the wall, but you touch the button like this, and you do this, and there's a screen. He's like, is that all right with you? And he's really like, touching me and all. And I'm like, yeah, look, he's freaking me out. He's being really nice, but he's being really aggressive or something. You know what I mean?
He's hiding something.
And then he turns around after the door and goes, so I started calling a fella, right? And I'm like, yeah, I think he's doing well. He's doing great. Like everyone. And he's like, I started the Mayweather fight.
It happened.
Did you not see that one, mate? You know what I mean? And he's like, I did see it. He's like, I think that was a setup.
Oh,
I'm like, how do you think it was a setup? And he's like, because when Mayweather was turning his back, right? Conor was hitting him in the back of the head. He said to me, and I'm like,
oh. How often do you put up with that shit on a day-to-day basis, though?
Sometimes I just say, fuck off, like, and that's it. But, like, this morning, I was ready for this fucker, right? We were in my kitchen. I've had a kid until he broke in. I woke up, he was in my kitchen. And he got, but he's literally like, so there's no more fights left there, right, for him now? And I was like, they're talking about this big Khabib fight coming up and stuff like that. And he's like, who? You know what I mean? I'm like, Khabib, Nagamoff, you know what I mean? He's like an unbeaten fighter, this is the big fight. He's like, see, a heavyweight, is he? You know what I mean? And I'm saying to him, like, and then he's going on about, like, right, well, people get to it, they want this and they want that and all. And I'm like, so what about Floyd Mayweather? He was like, what about him? I was like, so he owns his own promotion now and stuff like that, and he took it off. Yeah. Like, he kind of took it over off Oscar De La Hoya and that kind of idea. And he's like, I know Oscar De La Hoya, yeah, like, he's a big lad. I said, but Mayweather came up and took her off him, and you were telling me in a minute that people shouldn't get too big for the boots and all. And literally, Chelsea's upstairs now. Why do you even bother?
Yeah, I should say she's thinking
Because I came back in the room like, did you hear that break downstairs? I'm not messing, man.
You should just press record and make an audio out of that and release it later. Like if that happens again,
now, I should,
be hilarious.
Next one that comes, I'm literally because
you have so many of them weird encounters, man. It's unbelievable.
Not my fault, Petey.
It's not.
It's not me.
No, we know it's not your fault.
You know it's not me. So the idea when you came to, shit, we want to do this. Like, you're now taking photos. You're doing journalism. Severe MMA came into the system, so that was 10,000 hours dropped.
That was when I wanted to get in with them after that came out, because obviously I've been covering you a bit, like I've been doing a few interviews here and there. It was kind of on the local papers. I was trying to get into.
How did you get the idea of that? Because you were working as you qualified as a journalist.
Yeah, I was already kind of, I wanted to do it, but you see, I just wanted to hang around in college because I didn't know what I wanted to do as well. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll go back, do something else.
Say we're the only person that ever did that.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone does that.
Man,
that's how it's done.
I went in and
don't waste your time though. It's a waste of time if you don't know.
Yeah,
if you don't know what you're doing, it's good to have the experiences to find it.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly what it was, because I wanted to be a teacher for a while, like, and then I was like, I don't think that's gonna work out. After about 3 years of drinking a minute, I was like, nah, I'm not out for that, man.
You get 10
after
months.
3 years. It took me 3 years to realise, no, probably not for me.
I'm
you know
not
what
gonna
I
do
mean?
this, yeah. I'm too drunk. But I heard a teacher on the radio yesterday. She's like, I'm a teacher and I get 2 months off. That's the only reason I'm a teacher.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well, man.
I would hate for my kids' teacher to be the only
Hate
reason.
to break it to you, mate.
2 months left. Shut up.
It's a lot of people get into it for that, and because they can go travelling for 2 months.
So
yeah.
There's actually a girl that I watch on my Instagram, and I'm so jealous of her. Every summer she goes and does absolutely incredible things. Ashley, her name is, and like I think she was in Thailand and Brazil and all of these places the last day a while, and it's like,
we don't like travelling that much, man.
I like Ireland.
Yeah, same here. Crossing the Liffey's enough for me, man.
I like a bit of tea and a Snickers.
As soon as I'm away, I'm like, I can't wait to be home.
Someone's like, do you want a topic? What a topic? Don't come at me with that foreign bar stuff. Get me a Snickers.
I know, man. It's just weird. I don't like being away.
And they're like, do you want one of them biscuits? And you're like, I bet that'd be a custard cream. Or a bourbon. Oh, I haven't done
man.
it. Yeah, bourbon or custard cream, man?
I'm more bourbon, I'd say. Bourbon.
What about
you, Rob? Both.
I'll
eat anything.
Like
give me a biscuit.
Too, but I mean, if you're holding a gun to me head and saying, which one?
It's got to be a bourbon.
Bourbon. Yeah, but you reckon custard creams, because that had to be the
You'd
only
win in a
biscuit
fight,
going
like.
around. But custard cream has a bit of blocking.
It does, yeah, actually, yeah.
A bourbon has that
low centre of gravity.
That long going, you know what I mean? You're from talking about fight biscuits, how we
it's going to be one I lost in the exchanges anyway.
How bad is it gone? Well, we have to talk about fights of biscuits.
Man, I wouldn't put past some promoters rolling out a biscuit versus biscuit fight at this stage, to be honest.
What, man? Yeah. I don't think I'm going to start getting into pushing one of them, to be honest with myself, because there's money. No, but yeah. So, another thing that's dropping, loads of guys that get the contract in the Bellator.
Yeah.
So, there has to be a plan there, do you know?
Yeah.
You and Ariel usually have the scoop as well.
They said it's going to be 6 events locally in this area, like, so I mean 6 events across the UK and Ireland.
So do you reckon it's going to be like kind of like BAMA?
That's what I think. I think they're basically coming to take that market. You'd expect, like, if you look at the signings, even like their names are synonymous with BAMA cards that were over here.
You better give me a fucking job.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Well, are you still contracted to BAMA?
I don't do contracts. Contracts.
Just brown envelopes.
Contracts are like prison sentences.
I needed one.
Yeah. If you're giving me a contract until the end of that contract finishes, I better be happy and comfortable.
Right.
Because what happens is you sign.
Yeah, I get you.
UFC contracts for KFC wages, and that's it. If you don't do the maths on the exchange rate and the tax and the changes and that, all of a sudden
tax in different places as well.
You're drinking soup and Coke and noodles. You know
what I mean? What's wrong with Coke and noodles?
You know about this pizza. We're going to go into that as well. Don't worry. Don't worry. But
yeah, I think that's like I think like basically they're going to be doing region specific events across the UK and Ireland. So I can imagine, you know. You got like they've got guys there that are on the brink of big things. Some of these guys, like, I mean, a lot of people are getting behind Kiefer, and they're in a better position to give him fights that can get him that extra, just push him to that next level where he wants to be. Whereas, you know, for a long time, even Kiefer was sitting in the same seat telling you about the trouble he was having getting fights. You know what I mean? So
stop, and Kiefer's one of the guys that like
he just needs to prove it against the guy who's established, and then everyone's gonna know. That's basically it with him.
As I said, it's kind of like the kitchen thing I said to you.
That was brilliant. Right? Do that.
So if you fit in the kitchen, like Kiefer Crosby would say, is the equivalent of a carpenter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now signing with Bellator, he's gonna go in and he's doing the same job, But just it's in the same space and it's doing the same job. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
no,
now,
absolutely.
You're gonna get other people coming in asking them to build other kitchens. You know what I mean? A bigger kitchens and better kitchens, and hopefully he's able to take them little jumps.
Yeah.
To them, you know what I mean? Because if somebody came into you say that's bigger than Bellator and gonna come in and say, I want you to build me a kitchen for nothing, and you get kind of caught in the lights of that big name, you're kind of fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree.
If you're thinking about, I think it's very important to think about as a job. Like, and if you are a fighter, you need to be making over 20 grand a year.
Oh, definitely.
Because if not, get a job in Aldi.
Yeah.
And you'll make more.
Yeah,
So,
no,
and I'm not saying that as
absolutely.
well as you were saying that. Like, I'm not saying that being a prick. I'm saying that from experience of.
That's the reality of the situation.
I remember counting back and going, I'd fought 3 times that year, 4 times that year, and I didn't even make like €3,000
Yeah.
at a time. And now, not in the UFC.
Yeah, I
obviously,
know,
but,
yeah.
But even in the UFC, if I fought, I think won 4 fights in a year or something, still wasn't mad.
You have to pay out so many people when you get to that level as well.
And
Like,
it's the tax.
Yeah.
So if you fight in the States, it's 30%. If you fight in Canada, it's 15%. And then when you
New
change
York,
them,
50%. Or something, yeah.
50?
Yeah, something mental. Like,
Is
yeah.
it?
It's crazy. That's definitely not a factor.
Pizza Carroll said that.
somewhere around that region.
But then when you come back, you've got to change the cash as well. So when you change the money and you come back,
shit.
you've got to go from dollars to euro, which is a bad jump as well.
And it's going to cost you money to get that into euros, obviously.
100%. And then when you come back to Ireland, you have to make sure that that's all cleared with your tax. So you might have to pay the tax on that and then claim the tax back in America. And you end up in this big mad circle that if you don't know, you're kind of in a bit of a noodle. You're better off going to somebody that knows about
Accountant,
money.
yeah, every time.
And the reason is, don't listen to me, I just spent thousands of euros losing them because of this. But no reason to listen to me. But that's kind of the reality
Yeah.
of it, you know what I mean? If you're going into them contracts and stuff like that, my advice would be to the guys is to make sure that you get some advice now on how to
Preempt it.
preempt it. When you're collecting the money, that's not good enough. You know, you need to be collecting the money and know that has a nest to go to straight away.
What?
Set up a little company or something like that and pay that and then pay your own wage.
Yeah,
out.
because you see a lot of guys that like in the America, the guys seem to know that now. There's been so many guys before them that they kind of know what they're getting into, and then what's been so impressive about what you did is like you would basically start from scratch after
Zero.
fighting, and do it twice. Do you know what I mean? It's pretty incredible. Like even to see the mats in there, man,
I'll
this
tell you,
morning,
if you take all my clothes off me and all my money, Petesy,
I'd be very impressed.
I'll come back. Yeah. Woo! I'll come
Still
back.
got it.
I will come back. And
Yeah.
that's what I always rest on the laurels of that. I swear to I promise you, I will come back.
Yeah.
I would have whatever I have now and more.
What do you think of it though? Like as well, like I sometimes like to think about how different it is for this group of fledgling professionals. Like as we saying, like the first fight I go and see, that's you 3-0, 4-0. Now Kiefer's 4-0 and he's gone to what we consider the second biggest show in the world.
I got €150 for that fight at Paddy Oxbeer, right?
You are worth every penny, mate.
I know you got that, right? And I got submission of the night, right? And
Extra
Joey was at
25.
getting an normal platter. But I was at getting this big submission that kind of hadn't been done before.
Yeah.
You know what
So
I
he
mean?
was snapping.
Oh. No, he wasn't. Joey's a lovely man. Joey was actually like,
Oh, he's very angry fella, that Joey Breslin.
Oh, Joey, yeah, he's a very angry man. He was actually delighted for me.
He's a
I
lovely
mean,
fella.
whoa, what was that? Show
He's
us
such
it.
a legend, man.
Yeah, so
Doesn't surprise me at all, actually. Yeah. How
That's
much extra for the submission bonus that night?
50 quid. What I mean?
25% bonus.
Listen,
Jesus
I probably out of the army mates in that car right there. So when we drove home, we got poop in the garden, I got a bag of chips out of it. Then we got home.
You bribed the guard with 40 quid.
And that was the main thing. I was pulling the fame card I was and showing them my A4 page that was in black and
But
white.
even that, right? The fame level, like these guys are like social media proper famous. Some of these guys 4-0, 3-0. It's a different kind of ball game, though, isn't it? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. When you at the height of your power, like you're a lot more famous, a lot more well known than any of these guys. But just at that level, do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing to have that much expectation, that many people kind of looking at you? Because I like the
Feels
fact.
like you're interviewing me now, Petey.
Sorry.
No, go on. Go on.
But
Doesn't it?
I just like when a lot of guys like look at Neil Seary. He lost fucking a million times before he went to the OC.
Neil is there. Look, there's another lad that is like an absolute like solid brick in the Irish rise up like and be beyond. I know the group of little lads like but Neil doesn't get as much.
But even Neil, like, but look at Conor had 2 bad losses before he went to the UFC. Nobody was there. Nobody really saw it, and he got to do that. He got to get over himself, whatever way he had to, and then he has to go, and then he loses in public, and he knows how to like he does that so masterfully that
Okay, I
time.
see
He
what
won
you
more
mean.
fans by losing than anything else nearly because he had done it before. I don't know. Do you think that's hard for them to go in pretty fresh in their pro careers and take a big lot? Is that a different story than losing on the regional scene when all the eyes aren't on you?
I wouldn't know. I never lost in the regional scene.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Right, fair
My
enough.
first out.
Point dead. All right.
My first out that I got bonus. I got the bonus for it.
Yeah.
So I got the bonus that night and I got paid.
Colitis.
Yeah, and I lost my first ever fight.
You were so pissed off after that.
Man, do you know why? Because I was more pissed off because I had so much more in control that I didn't control. I ended up in a situation that I just should not have been in, Petesy. Like in a way where I was in Canada, I was in there too long, I was angry, I just wasn't ready, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even the nothing to take away from my corner team or that night, but at that time it was still very nervy for all of us. And not only was I nervous, but my corner was really nervous as well. Like Artem and Ash done my corner that night.
Remember,
we were all very, very nervous. And the thing was, like, I wasn't getting the instruction I should have been getting. I wasn't getting calmed down. Like, there was a time in that fight where, like, it's no one's fault that we came back and I hit no corner in my second round. Like, have you ever seen that happen in the UFC?
I remember, but like people. Yeah, but that's
people
what
can say what they want, and people did try to like.
Oh, they did.
They tried to go. Yeah, but fuck! I was the first person to step up and say, "Listen, don't say nothing to nobody because that's nobody's fault." You know what I mean? But I know that I'm not saying that like I lost that and I got the experience of it, but I know that I probably could have done a lot better in that fight if I had been a little bit more prepared for it. That's all I'm saying. Don't make the mistake. But listen, same thing. I got the O, but I got paid for it.
Yeah.
I done well out of that.
It was a good fight.
But I lost me O and I got like well and burst for it, if you must, you know what I mean? And like when I'm coming home, I'd never seen money like that in my life, you know what I mean? And as I said, I'm coming home and I had no nest to put it in, I had nowhere to put it. That check's gonna be coming through the post and like what's tax, what's this, what's up and down, what's Jesus.
Yeah.
It's
mad.
You need to prepare for that, like.
Yeah. And to go through the experience then the next time is so much easier because you're prepared for it probably.
When if you get issued a big check, say, in the first one, and then all of a sudden you're in the middle of processing the opening a company and all, it takes a little while. That one lands, that you just gotta pay whatever you gotta pay on that, and that's it. And then the next one goes when you've done it the right way, if you must. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
But it's crazy. It's good. It's some advice that I think that the younger coming up needs. Like,
an accountant specific to MMA could make a killing in Ireland.
This is it. Do you know what? I might even try and do that with the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I feel that this is a really good way of answering questions and
the community's listening. Do you know what I mean? Like exactly. Everyone's talking to. Oh, did you see Paddy's? You know what I mean? They do. Everyone's talking. Yeah.
So me and Robin thought we were the only ones to listen to it.
Me, ma, Andy Stevens.
Your ma! See, as long as your ma's on it, that's it.
Paddy, be honest, you don't listen to it.
I've listened to one and it was actually... No, I listened back to some of them, but the reason I don't listen to them is because I'm sitting there having the conversation and I couldn't know the answers and I don't like really listening
do you ever, yeah.
Because criticism for myself, trying to get better. I listened to little parts of it, you know what I mean? But last week I listened to Philip Mulpeter's one.
I can't wait to hear that,
one, make sure you go back to it.
Doesn't even do interviews with the media, this lad. The Swans in, does an hour with Paddy.
Listen, we go way back.
Man, he's the only one out of you, that group that was just surging at that time. I'd book an interview, be texting him, you doing this? An hour. Give us an hour. And I'll be like, oh, fuck it. Just one right back in the end.
He's such a great guy, he is as
well. He's a legend and handsome as fuck.
He's handsome man.
Beautiful. He looks like something out of Sons of Anarchy, doesn't he?
He's having a baby now as well.
Beautiful child, I'd imagine.
There's loads of us having babies at the time, you know what I mean? And you know who else is having a baby?
Connor.
No? Yeah, that as well, yeah. No, say no. Yeah.
Well, Dee's having a baby.
Connor, Dee.
Yeah.
Whoa, that'd be news. James Doolan. You know James Doolan?
Yeah.
That's mad. So, like, I think the snow.
You have always had a great relationship, Dinky Ninjas and SPG, right?
Yeah, definitely. And James is a great guy, you know what I mean?
I've actually never spoken to him, but I've only heard good things.
James is a really good... In the absolute... Do you know what? He's probably one of the most unsung coaches out there.
He's only young for as well still, isn't he?
I wouldn't say that now, James. I wouldn't say that.
35, is he?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. He's still young.
That's young. Like, I'm 31 now, man.
Have you seen his accolades, man? Like, some of the stuff that he has accomplished, like...
No,
fires. Have a look at him.
Yeah.
He's someone that you need to interview. Or you need to get, say, have a little chat with Ariel or something and get to interview him because he's one of them stones. He's like the Tom Crean of the MMA coaches, if you must.
Right.
He's just unsung. He never gets as much praise as he should, I think. Because I watch his stuff and I'm always like, wow. I love the way he walks. I love listening to him in the corner and stuff like that as well. James is a really, really
Yeah, no, I've
good
heard
coach.
about him for years, obviously, but I'll definitely have a look.
And
Everybody I've talked to is always the same, so high on him. Like,
and you know what he does? He always it's all about his fighters.
Yeah.
It's all about like he makes sure that shining light is always on his fighters. You know what I mean? And that
don't see that all the time.
he's lurking in the shadows. You know what I mean? He is, but he's proper gnarly coach him.
Yeah, man, I'll definitely have a look.
So what I wanted to say, as I said, that fighters make it hard, and it's hard for fighters. But so you're a journo, you're a journalist,
dirty, filthy rat.
But journo. What happened? Like you were saying to me that there was a time when you were struggling. Like, we were
unbelievable.
You were going to give her up, and you had to go and. So what kid? This is another thing. What a lot of people are doing. They're like, we're not going to get a job. What happens is when you become famous. Right? When you become famous, famous is a little bit of a burden, I think. No,
I understand what you mean. Because I'm so famous.
What happens when the money runs out and then you're working in Central?
That's always in that exact situation. Like just the week I got the interview for MMA Fighting, I had an interview for another big MMA website and I went arseways and I was like, right, well that's the end of me. I didn't want to tell me missus, right? Because we're paying rent, obviously. You don't want to think you're half of it.
Your missus' birthday as well?
No, it was mine. We just celebrating a week late. I know, yeah, two
She's
birthdays.
a lovely girl. My
yeah,
friend
she's deadly.
Francie's up, by the way.
Does she, yeah? I don't know. She has terrible vision. That's not even a joke, man. She can't see like her finger in front of her. That's the only reason I've lasted so long.
Oh, man,
she thinks I look like Brad Pitt's Snatch.
Yeah. Fine blowing girls.
That's a little tip for you. But I was so worried about it at that stage. I think I made about $1,000 the week before. Me rent's obviously more than that, you know what I mean? I was like, oh man. So I didn't want her to be worried. So I was like, I'm gonna take a little job on the side. And I went up to Blanche, the job centre in Blanche, and they're like, all right, well, you're going to have to fill out this form. I was like, I need a job. I can start tomorrow. So like, we're not going to be filling out forms.
We're past forms, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we need rent yesterday. You know what
I was like, I need cash in the hand somehow here. Like.
Anybody want back rubs?
I need some coffees. They said to me, they gave me a little card, just a fella's name called Pavel on it or whatever. And I rang him and I was literally like...
You need Pavel.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
I rang him and
give
he's
him
like...
Pavel's number. If someone comes in an emergency looking for rent...
They do. They
give
have
him Pavel's number.
If it's ever getting bad, tell them. Just give us the fucking off-list shit there.
Walk up to the guest. Do you know Pavel? Yeah. That's the code one.
That's what it was. And I rang him and I was gonna be, I assume it was office blocks because it was in Fitzroy. I think it was the bus hours. Down up by McGowan's there. I think I was gonna be cleaning that at night time, whatever. So it was like grand. He's like, when do you start? I started on Thursday night. This was Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember which. And on the Tuesday then, Ariel just texted me. He's like, here, I don't know if you're interested. Because I'd never tell anyone, do you know how bad it was? I didn't want the sympathy vote anywhere. I didn't want someone going, oh, poor Petesy, give him some. So he was like, oh, how's things going?
You
would
have got none, Petesy.
Yeah.
You would have got none. So he would have just enjoyed the story.
Yeah.
He would have enjoyed, now you're not so fucking big now, are you?
That's what he cleaning tables like a boss, man.
Yeah.
But
that's...
Yeah, he texts me and he goes, look, how are things going? I was like, yeah, great, 100%, man.
Ariel?
I'm flying. I am flying.
Ariel said it?
Yeah, no, he goes to me like, how are things going?
This is Ariel Hawani. This is one of the biggest journalists in the world, if you know. They're biggest, if you know. Yeah. And he's sound.
Yeah, he's really cool. And he goes to me, look, we've a position opening up, and I'm trying not to freak out here. I'm like, oh yeah, it sounds alright. You know what I mean?
This is how fire he is.
I was literally freaking out. I was freaking out, man. And he goes, right, well, someone's gonna contact you next couple of days. Someone eventually got in touch, and I can remember it was my brother's birthday party in my ma's gaff when I found out I had it. Now I was like going, if I don't, like I'm gonna have to move home. Like,
I'm robbing birthday presents.
Yeah.
So
I can remember I got the message and I started bleeding crying, like, because I knew it was done. I knew, like, if that hadn't happened at that stage, like, I was gone. I was out the door. And funny that it was Ariel, because you're the reason, the very reason why I started talking to him back in 2014,
savage.
2015.
Good energy.
Because remember that tea interview you guys did, yeah?
That was savage, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We organised that in a day.
I'd say so,
He said
man.
to me, I'm going to do an interview. No, he said, I'm going to do an interview with you, Ariel. Let me tell you where the stage is going to be. There's a big tea place
That was
around
amazing,
here. You know
man.
that? We wanted to go see it.
How many different teas did you have that day?
Oh, we had a few.
And you knew way too much about... Like, do you know why someone likes tea? You really like tea,
I
man.
know my tea.
It was
like,
weird.
The reason why I do know a lot about tea is because my granny used to tell me a lot about that.
No way.
Yeah, we used to have a badger mug when I was small. Right? My granny lived around the corner from me, and it was a plastic mug with a badger on it. Right? I remember this day. Now, both my grandparents are dead, yeah, but like they were a very big like. My mum and my grandparents and my sister raised me. So I used to go around and she used to make me tea in this badger mug. But then she used to tell me stories about tea. Like, oh, this sounds mad.
Is that how you knew? Because they were going different flavour. You were like, oh, well, this actually originates in the West Indies.
About where it happened and where it came from and stuff like that. Because I remember asking her questions like saying, like, where do we get tea from? And she was like, because we can't grow tea in Ireland, like, and she was like, no, tea comes from this, and I was like, why? And then she knew, and she was like, well, this is what happened, and we got it from Britain because Britain colonized India, and then and I remember having little stories about it.
You were telling him stuff that he didn't know. The guy that was pouring it.
Really?
And I sussed that
Watch that. If you haven't seen that interview, make sure you watch it.
I haven't seen this. Check it out.
A star was born there that time.
It was and guess what? Right at that time, I knew that I used to always say, right, put all the media work in. And then go and do the fight, and everything comes to life then. Like, we don't think about what you're doing, do you get what I mean? Be honest, be loyal, be who you are, and then when you fight and when you win, everything that you've said and everything you've done comes to life. So don't fear it. So I remember being with that, like, I was the day before the weigh-in there, man. Like, I was spitting some of that tea out, because like, I cut weight, you know what I mean?
But that interview, right? So I walk into the TD Garden that night. Who were you fighting? Carroll?
Shane
Howell, yeah, that's right. And
tough.
Yeah, he was tough, man.
Like a badger, I'm not messing.
That was
He would not stop.
That was a great night, man.
Sprained my ankle in the second round, I did, and I couldn't move on it, man.
What's that? That must be terrifying, man. When you're locked in a cage with someone and you can't bleed.
I couldn't move, man. I'm not messing. If you ever get to see the fight again, I get to see a clip of it. There's a time where he has me foot caught. And I pull my foot away, and as I step down, I literally like roll right over on my ankle, and I go, ha! And I literally lift my foot up like I'm about to get burned, and then I look at him.
Man, poker face.
He knows, and I know. And we're like, bollocks, did you see that? And and then like there's a time I have a triangle then at the end of it, my foot's like this, and John's like, switch the hook. She's like, John, I have a body triangle on. My leg, my foot was foot locking myself, I was, man. And it was in bits from it. But Shane Howell, tough little country lad, and I'd give a shout out to him as well. He's a good lad.
Yeah, and I walked into the media room, and Ariel was sitting there, and I was like, oh, Ariel, that was a great interview you did with Paddy, man. It's very hard to get Paddy to come out like that if you don't know him, so fair play. Then he just gets all his fill, comes over and sits with me and starts talking to me. Now, anyone that says that lad is not sound around, man, he's meeting this little spotty Irish kid coming in. I look like the juvenile, no, the C team, the B team. This lad's the main guy. And
not even a vitamin his team. You know what I mean? Vitamin Z.
But like that's what I mean. Came over and started talking to me, and always talked to me since then, which is great. Like, but that was the whole reason I got talking to him. So maybe if you didn't do that interview, I might not be working for MMA Fighting.
I knew this was going to happen, Petesy.
I'm telling you.
I knew this was happening. Don't worry, I had your back.
No. Thanks, man.
No, but here, as you said, Ariel is a great guy. Even the idea, he brought me on the Ariel Holohan show the first time. I remember being in the car park down at Concord, like,
mad,
and
yeah.
Then, and then there's another time when Conor was on it, I remember, like, and he was supposed to be fighting Cole Miller.
Remember that?
Do you know that?
And then Diego, Jesus.
Mad, like, he's supposed to fight everyone, but the reception, it was turned around and there was a class on, everyone was watching it and all, like, and it's like, you can still see the like where not that that's not there anymore, but there's not like he's one of us.
Mad.
You know what I mean? Well,
yeah, people losing their
everyone's
minds,
gunning
man.
for everyone in a little bit in a way.
Like I can remember, like my aunties and uncles watched all you on them shows. Do you know what I mean? Because like it was like a nationwide thing then. Like everybody was jumping on it. You know what I mean? Like that's mad. Like do you know what I mean? They only watch the Irish guys when they fight, and that doesn't even happen anymore. They don't really care anymore. It was because something was in the air then.
That's right. That Irishness is like said. Some guy comes over to me the other day at Bray and he's like, "Where's Holohan? I seen you fight in Dublin." That's what he says to me, and I'm like, "Nice one."
Yeah. Let's just move on.
And my uncle was like, "Why did he call you Wes?" And I'm like, "Because there's a footballer called Wes Holohan. Right? He doesn't look nothing like me."
No, nothing at all.
But it's just. He just knows that there's something between us. Mad. You know what I mean?
They'll never have a crowd like that again.
No.
They thought Liverpool didn't come near. Maybe when Till was coming out, it reminded me of it. But from start to finish, to have a night like that is just never going to happen again.
What do you think of Till?
I think he's very good. I think he'd be better at middleweight. I think even though he's got massive power at welterweight, I think he'd be like Whittaker if he took that weight cut out and didn't have to go through it. He'd look even better at middleweight.
Yeah, man, he's gonna take a long time off his life if he keeps doing that weight cut.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I think, and you could probably even you'll be able to speak to this a lot more than I would. But when a guy fights in a lower weight class and he knows he's gonna eventually move up, the only way he wants to move out of that weight class is with a belt around his waist. And when he's that close to it now, I'd say even if he lost to Tyron Woodley in this next fight, he's going to find it very difficult to move up to middleweight without getting that goal. He's going to take a lot of talking to. He's going to need the closest people to him to have a word with him. But I think his power translates more if he's fresher and he doesn't have to put his body through that trauma.
Well, man, if it's that I could learn and it's 2 days down the line, that I would have stayed bantamweight.
Yeah.
Like a
because you were big flyweight, man.
Big
huge.
at bantamweight.
Yeah.
No, a bantamweight I felt great.
You only went to flyweight in the UFC, right?
Because that was the only contract I got.
Yeah.
That was the one. Can you make 57?
Conor was the same with featherweight. He wanted to go lightweight, yeah.
I'm sorry, that's all we have. And that was it. And I was like, can you make it? I'd make atomweight, mate. You know what I mean?
Chop one of my legs off and put me in there.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I'm getting skinnier as he was saying it.
And it's mad, like, because then like, he's missed now, right? So when you miss, it's a whole new stress because every fella with a camera, every fella with a microphone is going, how's the weight going? And they could say it in the nicest possible way, but it's going to get into your head eventually. Like, Conor didn't even miss weight and he was getting it. Conor never missed weight and he's getting it worse than Max Holloway, like who has missed weight as the champion.
Isn't it?
Oh, it's terrible.
Explain that. Do you know, you probably know a little bit more about
There's loads of different things like being said to me. Like some people are telling me he got knocked out the week before the fight. Some people are telling me...
Is it something? Is it a bleed on the brain or is it...
Don't know. Like there's loads of different reports, but nothing's been confirmed. Some people said it was like, if you remember, Royal Hall had an incident there a while ago where he had like a mini stroke and they thought he was on the verge of a heart attack when he was
How do you get back in?
Oh, it's mad.
If these boys can get... Look, I'm not
No, it's a genuine,
but
yeah.
Like, if these boys have a bleed on their brain, like, I don't have a bleed on
I don't know if he has a bleed in his brain though. Just
no, sorry, I'm not. But
yeah.
I think it's a stroke.
That's what
would
it's
indicate
reporting.
that, wouldn't it?
I don't know though. Like people are just like some people are saying it's just because of the bad cut he had with Max. I heard Joe Rogan talking about this recently. Like because of the bad weight cut he had to try and get down to 55 for Khabib, that's carried on through now. And when he's cutting that weight, his body kind of goes into a trauma thing because it's like it's going. You shouldn't be doing this, mate.
Don't do it again.
He's meant to walk around 190 pounds. Like how are you making 145?
Man, I've seen him before.
He's very tall, big, huge dude. Yeah,
and
he's a savage fighter.
He's one of these guys. He's big, he's square. He's a very good fighter, and I think like he was a boy against Conor the first time. You know what I mean? And Conor, like, but it goes to show how good Conor is as well. Who put up a video the other day saying about like where Dustin Poirier and
Eddie Alvarez and Jose Aldo. That whole
Conor
card.
9 minutes to get rid of the both of them.
Yeah. And then throw on Aldo there in under 13 seconds.
Man, when you think of it like
that's what I mean. Like Conor's a generational kind of fighter. Like it's not going to happen again as well. Do you know what I mean? This it's very hard for me to put my hand on my heart and say, sure, we'll be back there eventually, lads. Don't worry about it. Because when you have that something magic happening, it's just not. It's hard to recreate in this island.
Unless you know how the magic was created.
Yeah, but I mean,
I know how this magic
Jack and his beans are at that leg and a home.
They have the beans.
Yeah. Well, if anyone can do it, it's going to be someone that was
involved in it. I feel that it's a thing about creating. Like if you can get a few guys together that don't really know where they're going but are generally motivated in life, and then you can show them that. And like I think I've seen it with about 4 or 5 lads that I've been training now. I see
the spark.
The light came on. You know what I mean? Like I had a guy fighting the other night, right? And if you get to see it, it's not I had a guy fighting. There was a guy from the gym that trains with the team fighting on that EFC fight in Tullamore, right? Incredible, absolutely incredible. And he fought a tough guy from Tullamore. A guy was a blue belt under Kieran Davern, and you'll see his name's Connor Saunders that fought, and it was exceptional. Like
Connor Saunders is his name.
Connor Saunders is the guy that fought from here, and he was exceptional. PT, I'm not messing. Like really slick, good distance. A few mad moments happened in the fight where he could have lost the head, and he didn't. He got taken down. He got back up, kept the distance.
Can't wait to see.
And he finished it in a fight where he just peppered the young fella until the young fella had to stop. And it wasn't like back in the day where like. He stayed at distance and peppered him and body and head and fakes and body.
Composure's a big tell, isn't it? When you can see composure in it, like amateur.
And I mean, this was his second fight. He lost his first one. Came back and won his second one. But he still, as I said, he's an amateur now. But right there, you can see it in his eyes. Holy shit, there's something here. that like, and I said to him like, there's some, and this is what I say to a lot of the guys, and I don't know, this has to be, this is probably a new thing, no one ever said it to me, but, and I don't want them to think like this, but when they do the first fight, especially when they win, someday you could sit here and someone could hand you 100 grand for that, for what you just did, and people are like, nah, no, go back to it for a second, listen, there's not much further from what you would just had to do in there. It's like the building the kitchen thing.
Yeah.
It's the same job. You just got to get really, really good at it and really, really quick at it and know what you're doing and which way you do it and how you place the units and which way the doors go on. And if you figured out everything that goes on in between that, you can just recreate that creation no matter what organisation it is. And if you're good enough to keep going like that and impress and get good and have a style and have a character, everything follows. The cash follows. Everything comes.
Is it as satisfying for you winning a fight as to watch one of your guys winning a fight? Be honest, because I'd say that is just a mental feeling to be in a packed arena and people going wild, man.
There's nothing that compares it from fighting. Like, and I even said to Chelsea, am I that old man now that never shuts the fuck up?
Back in my day.
That's what I said to her, you know what I mean? I stuck a picture up today I did of a fight.
You never do that, yeah. No, it's like you never. Why don't you do
Some days
that?
are harder than other, man. Because I'm telling you now, some days are really harder than others, and people don't realise that. Like, sometimes it gets me where I'm like, man, I just need to fight somebody. Like,
especially because, like, you are taking a supplement that basically cancelled out the reason why they stopped you fighting.
I know, and as I said, there's so much that goes on. Like, Brock Lesnar's coming back to fight for the belt after.
But he's a clean athlete, man.
Oh, doped out of head for days, man. And not only that, having contracts that says that I can be doped and you can't say that. And
give me one of them.
that's a mad situation, isn't it?
Yeah,
but here's one thing, I it's like, fuck, I know, you know so much about it and you know how the feelings go that you're like, oh, I wish I could do it again. Because I said to him, right, this is like a drug. I said, this is better than any drug you'll ever take in your life, right? I said, the win. And then the next day he texted me and said, holy shit, you want to lie and say this was like a drug? And then I seen him yesterday and I said to him, see when you wake up in the morning, don't you just wake up and go, boom? And he's like, yeah. I was like, fuck. You're like, because you know. You're like...
Someone in Siri actually talked to me. You're saying some days are harder than other. He used to say that he get mad low after a fight, no matter the result.
Yeah.
Because he had nothing to gear his life toward. Because it'd be like 8 weeks, 7 weeks, 6 weeks. You're counting down constantly. Your weight's coming down. You can see you turning into the beast that has to get in there. And then you wake up on Monday and there's nothing. Do you know what I mean? There's no thing for you to point your life towards.
Yeah, no, 100%. Tracks on the hill I call it. So say when you, because a few guys that have coming up for this, the Cage Legacy on the 19th of August, if you get a chance to look at this.
Yeah.
So I think we've got 5 guys on it and 2 guys grappling. Young guys all the way up to like older guys. But you see the tour in the corner, you see it in training. Guys that are training and guys that are putting the work in and putting proper work in, where they're not just turning up and guessing in the gym. Like I say to guys sometimes randomly, what are you doing next Monday in the gym at 8 o'clock? And they're like, I don't know. I just keep going. Continue to guess then. Because that's what's going to happen for the rest of your life. Do you know what I mean?
So you should, what should the answer be?
You should know what class you're doing on a Monday next week.
Right, right.
You should know what technique you're doing. You should know whether do we do pads on the Monday, do I rest on the Monday, do I not do that, do I run, do I do me cardio? Like if we get downstairs and somebody's doing something in the gym, like say bear crawl or something, I say, when's the last time you did that? Oh no, see it on YouTube when I start doing it. Like, when's your fight? 8 weeks. There's a boxing class going on over there. Right. Yeah, but I decided to do this. Wrong.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you need to know what
you're
you're planning to do and what times you're doing it.
Man.
And if you're not thinking like that, I say you're a caveman. Because people go back to being cavemen. The minute, like, they go back to caveman MMA if you must wear the weight cut and all. Oh no, I just wear bags when I go running for the week. Stop doing that. I'm going to tell you I'm stop doing that. And they go away and do it. And you're like, yeah, I made the weight though. And you're like, yeah, but you're doing it wrong. We know that that's wrong now. Stop doing that. And do this or maybe move up.
Does it freak you out when you think any of your weight cuts back in the day, or were you kind of sophisticated enough?
No, like...
Yeah, maybe even Chris and Artem telling me mad shit back in the day. Do you know what I mean? Just trying to...
Mad weight cuts, man, you know what I mean? Really, especially the 57 ones. The rest of them, doddle. Piece of piss. I could make 61 by dieting. That's how I knew it. Like, I couldn't breach 61.5. And then after that, as you were saying about the body with Till there, like my body started going against me then. Then I couldn't breach 63. So then I was like 63 to 57. Like I'm going 5 kilo here, you know what I mean?
That's
in a bath
hardcore.
water.
And when you're that light already, like...
100%. And your brain only...
It's like 10% of your body.
Your head weighs about 8 pounds, 9 pounds as it is because of the war.
Yeah.
And that's where your body starts taking it from. It takes it from everywhere. It takes it from your brain, takes it from thing. And
Crazy.
if you think that you're going to rehydrate your brain and fill your brain back up with synovial fluid in a day, You're not. And all of a sudden you've got a fish, put a goldfish in like a little bit of water at the end and shake it.
Yeah, because
It's not like shaking it when you've got a full bowl.
Yeah, because in concussion they say like right, they need that fluid to basically protect the head.
But just think of the brain flowing around in your head, getting
It's gonna hit the walls, yeah.
Boom, boom,
yeah.
boom, boom. It slows down. But if it's in half of water, it's a brain just hitting off a skull then, and that's I think where you need to be really careful with the weight cut.
But when you saw tails cut, did that, I'm not messing with you. Some fighters on the phone to me going like, man, that's every cut I have. That's what it looks like, man. Yeah. That's just what it looks like.
I was that bad. That's what I was with it.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying to me as well. Like there seems to be two fields of thought. Like the dramatic one. But the dramatic one is from media people and fans who genuinely aren't around weight cuts. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and this is it. And you know what? They're probably the most people that are in the fucking comments going, oh, like this and that. And like I know where Khabib gets torn out for the Tiramisu, doesn't he? You know what I mean? Like, which is probably like...
They're the worst fan base in the world.
Yeah, that's it out straight,
like, it's like, I've asked people that have come from... Like, Aaron Chalmers, I was talking to him recently, and I was like, well, what's worse, like, being on these reality TV shows? Like, you think them boys would be targets being on reality TV shows. He said, I couldn't believe it, man, when I started in MMA. So the shit you get in this is just unbelievable.
It's vicious.
Like, people are designate their lives to that comment shit, you know what I mean? So it's like...
I'm alright.
Yeah, I don't really... I can remember the first few times that happened, he was like, oh my God. Then I was like, nah, he's right, I'm a wanker.
Yeah, stop. I got one day and I was pissing on the floor laughing and Chelsea was mortified. It was like, check this guy out. He looks like a gay person doing anorexic porn.
Jesus Christ.
That's what he said to me, and I found it funny because it's like for someone to say that, but you could see the hate in how he wrote it in capitals.
What is wrong? Are they people? Are they actually people?
And it wasn't even this. It was like, hey, look at this, and then ... This looks like.
What a wank.
And I was like, Chelsea.
But this is the thing, right? I've never met someone that comments on YouTube. Every time, like, do you know what I mean? I've never met someone that goes, yeah, I do the yell comments. So they're like a little secret cult in the background. Nobody knows. No one's admitting to this shit, but it is doing it.
That little bastard.
They wouldn't say shit to your face.
No. And you know what the thing is? It's
sometimes I think it's me mates winding me up, man.
yeah. I know who it is for you. Do you know
who?
It's Neil Seardy.
Yeah, he'd want to be credited for it though.
Yeah, I suppose. He wouldn't step out with a thing like that as well.
I get shivers, man, when I get a notification saying Neil Seardy is commenting on you, like,
fuck it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's when you're not at the end of it, it's grand.
Yeah, I know, I say so, yeah. But it's funny, some of the stuff that he said.
He's just so cutthroat, man.
He goes after you, he does.
Oh, stop.
Have you prepared there, Robin? Robin goes down some weird stuff in the week.
I know, I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
Have you heard some of the shit? So you just come out with some weird... I like it though.
Come on.
Some weeks are better than others.
Pressure. Look at that.
It usually puts us onto a whole different conversation.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are talking about it this week. A company in New Zealand have done an experiment where they're giving people a 4-day week and paid them 5 days to see if it increases productivity. So, the workers report that it definitely does. Like, so of course they would, but they said it reduced stress level by 7%, improved their overall balance by 24%, and I think productivity went up by nearly 25%. Like sales improved in the company and all this stuff, and there's more and more people doing it. They do it in Scandinavia all the time. Like
I've heard of that. Yeah, in Scandinavia.
It's a mad little situation. You know what I love? When someone tells you something and you're already ahead of the curve. I do a 4-day week.
Do you a 4-day week?
Monday, Tuesday, I teach 12 o'clock today, and I take the Wednesday off. Because that's my day with my unflip, my day to kind of chill and relax and energise. And then I do Thursday, Friday, and then I'm off.
There you go.
These boys, if they need a little tip, tell them to ring me.
Yeah.
I'm a 7-day man myself, so I'm not like flat out. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm kind of, but you be doing shit every day.
Yeah, and this probably on the day I'm on. I'm on every day.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
I'm on the mats teaching.
Right. Yeah.
You guys probably get put in that bracket, but of course. You do what you love.
Yeah.
This is the thing that makes all the hard work.
Everyone's doing what they love these days, though. Do you know what I was
saying?
All you have to do is look at all these people on Instagram.
I know.
It's like, do what you love, PT, because when I followed my passion, it was great.
It was.
Free shit.
But everybody on Instagram's lying as well.
big time.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I hate
he's
the
in a
perception
page.
versus reality of this shit. Like,
Here's a great page to follow, right? Oh, I'm telling you now, this is awesome. It's like Fifth Farms Exposed or something like that.
no way.
And there's a
My
man-
missus mad for this blogger exposed as well. in Ireland.
Blubber, it's like that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's kind of like what they're doing is they're exposing photoshops and stuff like that.
Oh, yes.
And yeah, but it's brilliant. You want to see some of them. Some people post a photo up, and then the girl that say they took the photo with is at the posting the same photo up, and they have like 2 Instagrams together with the same photo.
That is mental, man.
One
People are,
person stuck one up, one person stick the other one up.
I hear people like these, some of these glamour lads and ladies, like they go away, say to Ibiza, they'll take thousands of pictures and then just pretend they're popping there midweek for the rest of the year. Oh, just popping over to Ibiza for a photo shoot. And their ma's there taking fucking pictures of them or whatever.
What day did he give them off from?
Friday has to be.
Oh, it has to be Friday.
Friday.
3-day weekend. 3-day
We
weekend.
might take Monday. Oh,
Wednesday, boys.
Oh, yes.
Think about it though.
Me and my mates used to have a day called Happy Wednesday. I won't get into why, but it was a good day, man.
Monday.
Oh, that's a good show to break up the week, though, man. You have a
Because think
2-day
about
bank,
it.
2 day.
You've got 2 days work on, you've got 1 day off, you've got 2 days on, you got 2 days off.
This is interesting.
Because Tuesday would
It's
be
a constant holiday.
Would be the new Friday.
Yeah.
yeah, and then Thursday would still always be Thursday.
And you could go out on a Tuesday night.
Thursday would be.
You need something midweek, yeah,
Oh
all right.
man,
You know what
Champions
I'm
League on
saying?
a Wednesday night.
And then
Champions League on
Friday
a
night, you
Tuesday.
still have a Friday, you have a Saturday night.
I'm liking this.
This lad,
sounds like a great
I'm telling you,
idea.
not just a pretty face.
New Zealand, you owe me money. I want some of that internet money.
Yeah, I could go with a 4-day week, I guess.
The thing is, like, it's Japan. Like, they actually have an official cause. Like, a lot of people in Japan just work so hard.
They die, yeah.
They commit suicide. Like, a lot of them, and that's the official reason on like.
To die from exhaustion is an honourable thing in Japan. So
Is
if you
it?
basically work yourself into a grave, they're like, your father was a legend. He died working.
That's a mad situation about the Irish slavery in America as well.
Go on.
So do you know about that?
Yeah, I knew
Before.
about it, but I didn't.
American Irish people used to be, their land was confiscated from them, and then they were living by the road because their lands were confiscated because they couldn't pay the taxes that were imposed on them and stuff like that. So then people were said, look, oh, do you know what? You can't live here because there's nowhere to live, but we have a place for you to go. So what you'll do is you'll go over there and work for 7 years, and then you're free, and you'll be free to do whatever you want in that country. Like, kind of like you get your green card.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So
yeah.
they weren't known as slaves; they were known as endangered or insurgent. I can't remember that thing. But if you
Indigenous.
worked for indigenous.
Yeah, yeah.
If you worked for 7 years, you got free. But what they used to do is they used to make people say have babies, and if you had a baby within that, well then that baby was belonged to whoever had sponsored you to come over. In a
Right,
way.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
weren't
yeah.
seen as being slaves. But on the railroads, what they used to do, so all the people that they just happened to be stopping to come into America and kicking out of America, building the place.
Yeah, build it.
Built the place. That's Conor put a poster up yesterday. I took a picture and I said we built that place, and that was people. There's just nonsense out there, isn't there?
Yeah. Oh,
Isn't there?
man.
Some people go, no, you didn't. Such and such built this place.
Pictures
And
of
you're like,
Irish people building the Irish State Building.
when they
Empire
dropped,
State
see when
Building.
they dropped on the railroads when they were building it, they just buried the hole. They buried them where they dropped. So when you drop from exhaustion, because it's a railroad, you keep moving.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just if you went along the lines of that railroad, it would be littered with bodies, slaves,
That's so messed
and
up, innit?
indigent, say whatever. You can never
Yeah.
get that bleeding word.
Yeah, indigent.
See, so back to me words. I don't have words. Well, it's just words. So.
Yeah. Coincidentally, actually, on this day in 1834, slavery was abolished throughout the British Empire.
And even when it was abolished, they changed it to something else. They said it's abolished.
There's this new thing though.
Yeah, but it's new thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you're still kind of slaves.
There's a
But
new
we don't
thing.
call you that anymore.
There's this new. It was called Jobsbridge.
And it still hasn't taken off.
But you're still sitting at home
Oh
scratching it.
man, that was a
What
lot. That's
about
just
that?
free work, man. That's a lot of
Jesus.
bollocks.
That's the Petesy, you're a fucking legend. It's been an honour to have you.
Thanks
on.
very much, man.
Pleasure. It's been good to interview you. Even
Yeah.
though at times I felt like you were
I was
interviewing me.
very nervous about this because
It was
like
very-
10 years you're gonna get back
You
to me
knew we
here.
would never get. Do you remember?
Release the tapes.
We'll finish on this. Do you remember when I was walking out in Canada and there was a big table full of all the journo heads that, and I walked over and gave you a little fist bump?
Yeah, and then shook me hand the way out. It was all of them. Every fight you had, every single one of them, you always came out.
You're my man. You're my journalist.
You're
You're
a
the guy
legend.
that. You're the guy that.
I love you, Paddy.
You're there. Episode 37 there. Make sure you check it out. If you haven't checked out the other episodes, there's some
The
crackers
island.
in
Get
there.
get on the island one,
The
man.
island.
It scared the shit out
People
of me.
tell me all different ones, but here, one of the most important things to do, if you can follow the Instagram page, No Shame Cast, that's what you have on. Robin puts so much work into doing videos and stuff like that, and it's really cool to see them getting the traction on that. So check it out. Look after yourself.